All right, let's talk about this potentially massive public health crisis playing out in the southwest suburbs. A lot of people talking about this. This is a company called Sterigenics, and apparently they use a carcinogenic chemical called ethylene oxide. It's in the process, or it's used in the process of sterilizing medical equipment. Well, last month, the EPA released a shocking report that found that people who live within several miles of Sterigenics plant, well, they face a greatly increased risk of developing cancer now. We reached out to that company for comment regarding this report, but in the meantime, the community obviously fighting back.
All right, so joining us this morning to discuss this issue is attorney Antonio Romanucci. He is representing 3 plaintiffs in legal battles against Sterigenics, and he's planning to file a class action suit against that company for civil battery, negligence, and public nuisance. And we are also joined by, and I don't want to choke your name, please.
Neringa, Zymancius.
Thank you for coming in. And also someone that at least her husband's name you might be quick to recognize.
Please. Andrea, Thome.
Andrea, Thome, thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry, I'm still on the other name. Okay, good morning to you all. This is such a serious story, and I want to take the proper tone with this. This has been going on in Willowbrook since, what, the early to mid-1980s. Talk to me about, Anthony, about the gas itself and the problems that it has caused for residents there. Antonio.
Well, Sterigenics has been emitting ETO, ethylene oxide, since at least the mid-1980s. We've known that since the mid-1980s until late 1990s, they've been emitting at a rate of 20,000 pounds plus per year. After that, their emissions reduced. However, what we know now and what we've known for years is that ETO is a deadly carcinogenic, very, very deadly to people. And now we know that it's a very high risk for cancer in the people in the Willowbrook area.
How did it get into, to affecting people? Is it in the water? Is it in the soil? Is it in the air? What do we know?
Well, the principal emission is through the air. And what Sterigenics has done, it's turned the Willowbrook area into a mini Chernobyl. It's the same concept here. This is absolutely horrendous to the people who live in the area.
Andrea, you're an author, but you're also now a blogger, and on this topic, we could call it a reluctant blogger. You've talked about the impact it's had within your own family. I want to read you something that Governor Rauner said and have you respond to it. He says, this is not an emergency. This is not a public health immediate crisis. This is something we are managing, to which you would say what to him?
I would say, let me tell him about my parents who moved here in 2007, both very healthy, very vibrant. 7 years later, my mother died. My mother, who was a vegetarian, never smoked, never drank, meditated daily, but liked to open the windows in her home 1 mile away from Sterigenics. She died of liver disease.
Didn't smoke, didn't drink, right?
Never in her entire life. My father, 2 days before Christmas Eve this year, was diagnosed with a huge brain tumor that was robbing him of his sight. My father, who walked 8 miles a day as a result of trying to grieve his wife of 48 years.
So just going outside, enjoying life.
Thought he was helping himself and was hurting himself.
How did you make the connection?
Well, once this information came out, which we were not aware of, I had sort of an aha moment, and that led to me blogging. I have not been able to sleep. I got up in the middle of the night last week and wrote this blog to tell my story, and I can't tell you the hundreds of emails I've gotten from people with no pre-existing conditions in their family who live close to this place. It is slowly poisoning our community, and we have got to do something about it.
All right, I want to talk about what's going on as far as the government. The EPA says, yes, this stuff is dangerous, and yet on the local level, there are concerns that because the governor has ties to Sterigenics, that this is not being aggressively fought by the state of Illinois. Is that an accurate sort of summary of what's going on?
I would only hope that is the most inaccurate assertion that we can make here. Because if indeed there's any pay-to-play between the governor and this Sterigenics plant, we're going to uncover it, and we will make a big issue out of this, because Sterigenics is, from what we know of, has only in July of this year attempted remediation. Before that, they've been emitting at thousands of pounds per year.
Neringa?
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you this. When I talked to you at the break, you said, I am angry. Your property values have gone down. You're worried every day about, is this going to get me? Talk to me about your feelings right now and what's been going on with you.
So when I was made aware of this, it was shocking, right? Like all of us are kind of living in a twilight zone type of situation because we can't believe that this is happening. We started banding together. We have a Stop Sterigenics Facebook page where people from the community are coming together and making sure that we are at least knowledgeable of what is happening.
But what is the city saying about this? I mean, somebody's got to be regulating them. What are federal authorities saying?
Well, I think that's what we're looking at, right? Like we've gone to the town halls, we've written to mayors and senators and governors. We are giving them the runaround. Most of it, they're conducting right now stack testing, Sterigenics is, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to say they're within the guidelines that were made when ETO was not a Class 1 carcinogen.
We're getting the rap. Is this just a Willowbrook problem, or is this a bigger problem in DuPage?
This is suburbs all over.
It's everywhere.
Everywhere.
Darien, Burr Ridge.
This is a large community issue. This is the tip of the iceberg. That's what we're uncovering right now. That's all we see.
Go to Stop Sterigenics Facebook page. There's a map you can click on. You enter Chicago. You see where the cloud is. There's one other cloud like that in the country.
Wow. And
that
it's
blue
still
cloud,
going on
right?
Big,
right
dark
now.
blue cloud.
All right.
All right. You know, it's such a nice community you live in, and to have this happen, we appreciate it. That is information for those of you who want to get involved and learn a little bit more about this and how, you know, maybe you're affected. Just learn. 7:30 tonight, Marriott Burr Ridge. All right. It is 8:40, and we want to thank you for coming in today.
Thank you all.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you so much.